Hello folks, today is Friday, February 11th, 2022. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. And it's a week with a lot of really good stuff, some good news, some cool stuff. So let's just jump in. The first story is Assassin's Creed related, believe it or not. So according to this report from Bloomberg, of course, count this still as a rumor, take this with a grain of salt, but inside sources are reporting that the next Assassin's Creed game is actually a spin-off project that was originally DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla that was spun off into its own standalone game that we're going to be getting either late this year or 2023. The coolest thing about it, though, is that it's apparently going to be a smaller scale game, not focused on just big old open world stuff and more focused on stealth and assassinations, which is like, that's all I want. According to this report, you're going to play as Basim, the assassin you may remember from Valhalla, and that could be interesting. I really wonder when and where it's going to take place, considering the ramifications of his character. It could be interesting. I'm one of the people who have been long waiting for like a return to old Assassin's Creed form. If this is close to that, I'll be happy. That being said, not to get cynical, it is Ubisoft, and you know, Ubisoft has gotten a lot of fire lately, rightfully so, for certain things. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But at the very least, I look at this and I hear that maybe they're changing up the formula again. I think the series needs it, but yeah. I want to hear what you guys think, though, because it is a pretty divisive thing. Some people love the new Assassin's Creed games, and some people are really not into them. So let us know where you stand, especially because it just helps us gauge what types of videos to make. But moving on, Dead Island 2 is back in the news. Yes, can you believe it? No, not Dying Light 2. Yeah, but it seems like Dead Island 2 heard how great Dying Light 2 was doing and was like, let's get back in there. So according to Tom Henderson, a scooper, Dead Island 2 is still well underway in development, and we could be seeing an announcement of it soon. Fun fact, Dead Island 2 was announced like 8 years ago. I remember seeing early prototype gameplay of it at one of my first E3s. They gave me a hat, and the hat said Dead Island 2 on it. And I thought I was going to be really cool when the game came out, and then the game never came out. And now at this point, the game has been in development hell so long that hat has withered away like the sands of time. What? That's all we have on this, really, is that it has shifted development teams for so long, but the team that's currently working on it has been consistent on it, and that the game is actually shaping up to be pretty cool. Personally, I just think it has an uphill battle because there are so many zombie games, and also the original Dead Island came, and it was okay, and then we had Dying Light, which, to me, kind of blew that whole concept up out of the water. So Dead Island 2 now has to really shake things up and be pretty cool for me to be interested, but that's just me. I'm just yapping. Next up, let's talk about some big business industry type stuff. So Call of Duty and Activision Blizzard and Microsoft are in the news once again this week because we have a little bit more clarification on the exclusivity thing and what is going to happen with Call of Duty, if you care. So one of the Microsoft heads said, and I quote, "To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future, so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's platform." So there you have it. This is actually just an expansion of what has already been said, just with a couple of extra words thrown in that kind of solidifies it. So if you're playing Call of Duty on PlayStation, it seems like you're still going to be able to do that for the foreseeable future. Also, in case you missed it, we got a big reveal for The Wolf Among Us 2, the follow-up to the now kind of classic Telltale game based on the Fables graphic novel series. I absolutely freaking loved the first Wolf Among Us game. I think it was like one of the best things Telltale ever did. You still haven't played it?
No, not yet.
Dude.
I know.
Come on.
I own it.
You own it, but you have everybody. That's how it goes, right? So The Wolf Among Us 2 now is here. It's a new engine, new people working on it. The game is going to be coming in 2023. And it looks incredible. We get a brief in-engine look at Bigby versus seemingly Dorothy and like the Tin Man and Scarecrow. And Scarecrow's like smoking a bong. And this is awesome. I really hope that this thing just really continues exactly what they set up in the first game. And it's just, like I said, this week is full of like cool stuff to look forward to. This is high on my list. Hey, next up, this episode's brought to you by our longtime sponsor, Raycon. Now, these wireless earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever, but they're still more affordable than other premium wireless audio brands. Not too long ago, they got a fresh redesign with an updated look and feel with USB-C and wireless charging. And they still offer 8 hours of playtime and 32-hour battery life thanks to the handy-dandy charging carrying case. It's super sleek and slim. Goes right in your pocket. They're good for just getting up and going, still my favorite part. And they come with a bunch of these optimized gel tips to get the right perfect fit for your ear. So it's a good, comfortable fit where they stay in and they do not fall out. Can we get a shake test? So as you can tell, they're discreet and easy to use. Personally, I use them for work calls all the time when I'm on like a webcam. They pair up nice and simple and they last. They come in a variety of different colors. So if you want to check it out, click the link in the description box below or go to the link on screen here. It's buyraycon.com/GameRanks to get 15% off your first Raycon purchase. Once again, that's buyraycon.com/GameRanks. And thanks to Raycon for sponsoring our videos. But hey, speaking of that, good news, we also had a Nintendo Direct this week that was actually surprisingly chock full of stuff. Oh no, I don't have any notes. I didn't write down any of the Nintendo Direct stuff. So let's just guess with my broken, rotten brain. Let's see if I can completely remember the Nintendo Direct from memory. First big announcement: new Super Mario Strikers. Once again, they're playing soccer. That's right. Yep. You better believe it, Buster. They're also making a new Nintendo Switch Wii Sports game. So it's like Wii Sports, but with a Nintendo Switch. And there's golf that's going to be coming later. There's badminton. They use the word shuttlecock, which is really funny. Also, Kirby can eat cars.
Mouthful mode.
Mouthful mode in the new Kirby, the Forgotten Land. You're going to be able to eat vending machines and cars and turn into them. Yes, perfect. Excellent game. Also, we got a look at Xenoblade 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Oh, I lose track. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is great. This is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. There's a new Fire Emblem Warriors game dropping. Also, you're going to be able to play Star Wars The Force Unleashed on Nintendo Switch. Have you ever thought, hey, do you want to play Star Wars The Force Unleashed, but it look not very good? Well, here you go, kids. Sorry, that's not a dunk on the Switch. I'm sorry. Okay, now I have my notes, but there's a Chrono Cross remaster coming to Switch in April. Also, a Klonoa collection of the first two games is coming to Nintendo Switch, which is really awesome for 90s platformer kids like me. I think that this gives hope for the return of Tomba. Maybe one day. Remember Tomba?
Yeah.
Man, Tomba was great. You're going to be able to play Earthbound on Nintendo Switch thanks to Nintendo Switch Online. And also, we're getting new Mario Kart maps. A lot of maps. Where me personally, I would have been happy if they just added a couple little maps for free. They're going full on, they're not making Mario Kart 9 anytime soon. We're getting 48 maps over time. A lot of them remade from older games, and it's going to cost, I believe, $25 if you don't have the Nintendo Switch Online thing. So that's a lot of Mario Kart content coming over. Wow, they're going all in here. There's a lot more. We don't have time to cover everything, from an update for Metroid Dread to the fact that the Portal games are also coming to Switch, which is seemingly pretty big, with Valve and Nintendo Switch, but for now, everything else will be linked in the description down below. My favorite thing is just that you could be Kirby and you could do horrific things. Kirby's, yeah, if you think about it, Kirby is really messed up. Next up, we got some fun little things linked in the description down below for you. The first is yet another Horizon Forbidden West trailer. This is a cinematic trailer. It's very exciting. They've been putting out a lot of trailers and marketing for this game. Also, of note, it's now public that reviews are going to be dropping early next week for this game, so keep your eyes peeled. Just a heads up. Not ours. Our Before You Buy video is going to be way later because we didn't get early access to the game or anything. So just a heads up if you're looking for it. We're a little slow. We can't rush the magic. Also, we got a big new trailer for Atomic Heart. This is the kind of BioShock-inspired weird horror first-person, System Shock kind of weird, crazy Soviet-era-inspired thing that just looks incredible. And we finally have a release window for it. It's really nice just to see this because I feel like we've been following this game for so long where it had kind of humble, more indie, workings, and now this thing is an insane, over-the-top, fully featured game that looks expensive. That's besides the point, though. Bottom line, though, this thing just, from the beginning, has seemed creative and different, and that's why we've been looking forward to it. And they announced a release window, which I like this. I really think more games should do this. They were like, boom, boom, it's 2022. And then they didn't give us a date. They just said the month ends in BER. So that leaves it pretty open and flexible for a couple of months because things get pushed and things get delayed. So thanks, guys. Let's look forward to that one. Also, it's been a while since I've linked some homework, some reading. You know, I always say, like, we talk about video games so much here. We really should be well read up on them too, like, right? Like, do your reading. So this is an article from Inverse, and this is kind of a look back at Boktai. It's been 19 years since the really awesome Hideo Kojima Game Boy Advance game, so this is a really good look back, talking with him, and it's definitely worth a read, especially if you have fond memories of that game like I did. Next up, we got one more rumor or scoop for you. This is for Resident Evil 4, the Resident Evil 4 remake. Reimagine, whatever it is that has been rumored and talked about for so long. Video Games Chronicle talked about some of this stuff a couple months back, and now we have further kind of confirmation, so to speak, from inside sources via Fanbyte. And it gives us some interesting details that are worth highlighting here that have kind of been brought into the public conversation. It's the approach for this game. Apparently now a lot of the people behind it are the people from the Resident Evil 2 remake, which is exciting. There are going to be changes. It's not going to be apparently like a shot-for-shot remake, which I'm actually okay with because I still think the original game is totally fine, doesn't really need to be, you know, touched. But interestingly enough, I guess it seems like what they're doing here is they're trying to unify the theme and the vibe and everything of the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake with Resident Evil 7 and 8, you know, with the engine, the style, the emphasis on horror, because the main thing that I got from this is that they are emphasizing horror to the point where most of this game is going to take place at night, including the starting area, which is one of my favorite video game iconic scenes ever. I've talked about it on my channel before. But the fact that they're going all at night, all horror, makes me pretty interested. They're also apparently expanding the Ada Wong stuff. As you probably remember, the post-game stuff from the GameCube, and then it was expanded later on. They're going to make that apparently a full-fledged thing. We don't know if it's going to be DLC or if it's going to be integrated into the game, but it seems like this thing is well on its way, and according to this report, we might also see an announcement of it soon. I have one goddamn request, please. Can I just, when I press start on the main screen, can it please just say Resident Evil? Like they should never get rid of that ever. Anyway, that's all the news we got for you this week. That's the stuff we thought you guys would find the most interesting. So thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I want to hear from you guys in the comments what you're thinking about all this stuff. The Call of Duty, Activision stuff, of course, but Assassin's Creed possibly emphasizing or embracing, rather, stealth again. Cool. What do you want from that? Of all the trailers and stuff we showed this week, let us know what you're playing. Are you playing Sifu right now? Are you waiting next week for Horizon Forbidden West or something else, maybe Crossfire X, which we put out a video for? Let's talk about anything of the gaming news down in the comments, of course. There's also going to be that pinned comment there. Let us know what you're playing. Be sure to drop that in for our research purposes. But I'm Jake Baldino. We'll be talking to you guys down in the comments as much as possible. Things get a little crazy, though, so if you want to yell at me directly, find me on Twitter and Instagram and my other YouTube channel, Jake Baldino. I'm putting out a video about Jackass, the movies. Why not? But if you like getting caught up on the news, we're here every Friday. We never stop. So all you got to do is click the like button. It legit helps us out. Thank you. But I'm Jake Baldino. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great weekend. Pizza's on me.